questions from the audience. So I'll go back to Amna Ben Arab. How could the recent national developments, for example, the demise of another party and its ousting from power in July 2021, and the regional conjuncture, such as the security situation in Libya, the tensions in the Sahel, the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, further fuel the terrorism threat confronting Tunisia?
Right. Indeed, recent national and international developments are likely to have an impact on the trajectory of terrorist groups and their activities in Tunisia, namely, as you mentioned, the demise of a Nahda party and its ousting of from power following July 25th exceptional measures. These measures were labeled by Nahda as a coup against legitimacy. So here, the president, by declaring an emergency, freezing parliament, dismissing the prime minister, and amassing all powers in his hands, he put a sudden end to a decade-long rule of the Islamist and Nahda party, a period notorious for weak economic performance, unemployment, corruption, and also the mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic. But despite this move, whose purpose it was claimed was to put an end to the overall malaise that has set in, political uncertainty and socioeconomic distress remain a salient feature of the current situation. Adding to that is the democratic backsliding, the state of de-democratization that the country is undergoing now. And this, of course, allowed Islamist parties and their supporters across the aisle to view the new situation as repressive and reneging on the promises of the revolution, and they've become more vocal in their rhetoric, more manipulative, especially that they have begun to feel besieged by a hostile state apparatus and also a sizable portion of the population who have started to ask for, or to ask authorities to uncover what is known as the secret apparatus of the party and the involvement of party leadership in sending foreign fighters to Syria and Iraq. So as such, the situation is conducive, especially if there is no return to constitutional institutions. It is conducive to the entrenchment of a more extreme form of political religious expression, the hardcore of which already exists through the Karama Alliance Party, and probably to the re-emergence of violent extremism in the form of terror attacks or traveling to safe havens for training and engaging in a new project such as Afghanistan, which is likely to become one. And these threats inside the country find a favorable international environment in Tunisia's immediate neighborhood. Given the ongoing political crisis and the precarious security situation in Libya, with the presence of foreign operatives on the ground who are likely to, if the situation deteriorates, who are likely to cross the border anytime. Also, growing insecurity in the Maghrebi Sahelian borders, bordering territories, arising from the spread of jihadist insurgency across the region. And this is, I believe, a real challenge, especially with the French President Macron deciding that the Barkhans operation will end by the end of 2020. And you know, the Barkhans CET force is the largest in the region, in the Sahel, and I mean, their withdrawal could be a risky move, potentially conducive to the emergence of a caliphate in the Sahel. Also, as Antonio discussed earlier on, the fall of Afghanistan to Taliban is empowering for the overall jihadi movement and its regional offshoots in North Africa, the Sahel, and elsewhere. The Taliban's example could be a source of inspiration, could be instrumentalized by jihadi groups as opening horizons for others to promote militancy. And historically, top Tunisian jihadist leaders trained and operated in and from Afghanistan. I mean, this is notably the case of the group of Tunisians who were part of the Arab Afghans in the years 2000, and whose return to the country and imprisonment led to massive radicalization inside Tunisian prisons and the recruitment of jihadists inside prisons.
Thank you.